If she was in a relationship, I wouldn't want to piss her off. I bet you there'd be like no arguments with her. Her side effects have been so severe that with all the facial hair and the extra hair that she has on her body, her clitoris has swelled up so much it has become a mini penis. Wait, what the heck is going on down there? She said it's about an inch long and you can roll back the foreskin. Oh my goodness.
Bodybuilding and fitness is an outlet to our problems and a way of escape from reality, giving us time alone to take a breath from the harsh realities of life. Bodybuilding and fitness back in the Bronze era around the 1950s was all about proportion, aesthetics, positivity, discipline, and peace of mind. But throughout the decades, these bodybuilding ideologies had completely faded away. With the rise of body standards and physique inflation, so as the abuse of steroids and enhancements to achieve extreme perfection would later be the downfall of bodybuilding today. In this video, we are going to dive in bodybuilders who took it too far. So make sure you grab your pack of Pringles, subscribe, and turn on post notification to get the latest update in Titan physique content, which, not arguably but indeed the best channel out there in the fitness genre. So stay tuned.
You do not look.
Denise Rutwoski was a pro female bodybuilder and would place second in the Mrs. Olympia 1993 and had the best genetics at the time. Denise, as you can clearly see, she's not by any means natural, as Denise didn't want to stick to the basic less harming steroids to female bodies like Anavar, and decided to take the hard steroid drugs like testosterone, which as a woman had some serious changes to her facial structure during her bodybuilding times. Denise, after her retirement going off steroids, her consequences would catch up to her, with photos surfacing around the internet of her looking like a local drug dealer around the block. I mean, this guy looks like my plug, bro. I ain't gonna cap, bro. This nigga look like it passed you that good Indo pack, man. But yeah, man, the crazy transformation.
Training all together as far as athletic for a couple of years, and then I started teaching aerobics, which led me into bodybuilding, and voila, here I am.
Denise is from Venice, California, Muscle Beach, the home of bodybuilding, and she comes to this competition again as one of the pre-favorites. But Carla, since we've seen things changing a little bit, maybe that's not the case.
Gordon Kimbrough was a San Francisco bodybuilder who had an outstanding physique and was dating a female bodybuilder called Ramsey. These two were a cute couple, and Ramsey loved Gordon so much. One serious note no one knew about Gordon was his steroid abuse. Gordon would take loads of doses, which amplified his anger 10 times. One night in June 20th, 1993, Gordon's anger had tripled, which made it hard to control and led him to murdering his beautiful fiancée Ramsey by tackling her, wrapping her neck with electrical cord from an iron around the neck 3 times, and knotted it, and stabbing her with a kitchen knife. There is no clue what was the reason he leashed upon, his fiance ruthlessly, but people say he thought that she was doing push-ups with some guy naked. I don't know, but these are the tragic thoughts that you get from taking performance enhancement drugs, and if it's trenbolone, that can really affect your mental health seriously. So learn from Gordon Ramsay. The roid rage is real.
All of you, just to fucking come here, you as well, with your bird. This is why I'm pissed off. Touch that. That's fucking raw, and that's fucking what? Look at the colour of it. But I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question, what is it?
George Gregory Plitt Jr., better known as Gregg Plitt, was a U.S. Army Ranger for 5 years and later devoted his time into fitness personal training in Los Angeles, promoting his coaching programs in the beginning stages of YouTube in 2012, which made him a veteran in the fitness influencer genre like this. Gregg Plitt was born in 1977 in Baltimore and had a massive rise of success in his early 30s, gaining lots of popularity from his aesthetic physique and auditioning for movies, photoshoot magazines, and commercial advertisements. Gregg was a very motivational individual and always uploaded his motivational talks, proving that anything was possible and that the sky had no limits.
There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open, man. And it's funny, it's like, I'm not saying you do it all the time and everything else, because everyone needs release in life. But it's funny when you're coming here and you're closing the gym up, and there's no one in the parking lot except for my car.
One day in 2015, January 17th, Gregg would take his saying to the extreme. Gregg would try to shoot a video that he could outrace a train to show that anything was possible, but eventually he got, ran over and died, as he didn't actually run next to the train but ran in front of the train on the train tracks. I have really no clue of what intentions he had for his filming on train tracks, but rest in peace to bro, and he will forever be remembered.
Tragic accident has left family and fans reeling tonight. A vibrant fitness expert known for living life to the fullest killed by an oncoming train while filming. He's far from the only one pushing the envelope for the sake of entertainment. Here's ABC's Brandy Hitt.
He's the celebrity fitness expert who starred in reality shows like Bravo's Workout, his face and body gracing the cover of countless magazines and those potentially dangerous workout videos. But tonight, a tragic turn. The Burbank Police Department is investigating Gregg Plitt's unusual death. The 37-year-old killed Saturday after being struck by a train.
A little bit of vision, mentality, belief, confidence in yourself.
His powerful words in a motivational video foretelling of a tragic end. At 4:09 p.m. Saturday, police responded to a call that Plitt was struck and killed by a Metrolink train in Burbank.
Train versus a pedestrian. All units respond code 3.
Police believe it was an accident, saying Plitt was filming some sort of video on these tracks with 2 other people and no permit.
Were there any warning signs?
Yes, the train conductor did see him. He sounded his horn and hit the brakes on the train, but he was unable to stop in time, and Mr. Plitt did not seem to react to the horn.
Here's a good example. Here comes an Amtrak train behind you. Now this train is going to go speeding by rather quietly. It blows its horn because he sees people here. But in many times, as that train arrived, you didn't hear it coming, did you?
I didn't hear it at all.
What is happening? I've gone literally mentally fucking insane over the past few days. I don't understand. I think my mental break.
Connor Murphy was a sensational and majestic YouTuber. This guy was absolutely handsome and was holding the fitness industry with his hand back in the 2015 era with his transformational videos and shirtless in public pranks. But one year, Connor Murphy would go ghost from the internet, only posting a couple of times in a year. This was because Connor had experimented with extreme psychedelics like ayahuasca, a powerful psychedelic used by ancient native Indians.
Ayahuasca is an entheogen, which means it's a psychoactive substance that is used in a sacred or traditional context. Other examples of entheogens are peyote and magic mushrooms. Traditionally, ayahuasca is administered under the close care of a shaman and is used as a medicine to correct physical, emotional, and spiritual imbalances and encourage more harmonious relationships with others.
When the warriors of Amazon tribes returned from hunting, for example, they drank ayahuasca to process the aggression of the hunt and help them reintegrate into the community.
Through the experience of ingesting ayahuasca, the drinker is meant to connect deeply with their inner self and gain direct access to the spiritual world. Ayahuasca, after all, is a Quechua word that can be loosely translated to vine of the soul or vine of the spirits.
And Connor had officially lost it. He had officially fallen under the woke as fuck category where, you're constantly high on drugs and feel as if you have seen the deeper side of the universe. Connor until this day hasn't retained his old self back, and hopefully, he gets better and finds Christ or something.
I made it out. I made it out. I'm on the side, Lord. I'm on the side.
Getting to the part where for about maybe a week span, he was microdosing every single day and posting literally every half an hour to an hour on his Instagram and YouTube these like clearly just under the influence videos that are so out there and make no sense, making claims about celebrities, saying Robin Williams is alive and like somebody lied about his death and Jake Paul raped him, like all this weird shit that makes no sense. It's just like out of nowhere.
None of it makes any sense.
Exactly. So he has all these bold claims in these videos and he has all this weird shit going on. He's giving out his credit card information. He's holding Zoom conferences with that are public for all of his followers to join.
You're here trying to summarize, but there's so much.
Yeah, so it sounds like I'm rambling, but I am because I'm just trying to sort of consolidate it into somewhat of a palatable amount of information. It's really hard because he's done a lot of crazy stuff in the past couple months here.
Andreas Munzer was a pro bodybuilder who had the dream and desire to achieve unbelievable condition on stage. Andreas would diet so hard to ensure that every muscle in his body was visible, and would go down extreme levels like taking diuretics to strip off every bit of fat and help him drop his body fat percentage. One day, Andreas would collapse and was rushed to the hospital as the doctors found he was suffering from internal bleeding in his stomach and his organs had completely failed over him from the years of punishing his body. And yeah, eventually he passed away.
Reportedly, after months of stomach pain, Munzer was admitted to the hospital on the morning of March 12, 1996. By 7 p.m., doctors had decided to operate to stop bleeding from his stomach, but his liver and kidneys failed shortly afterwards. His condition by this point was too severe for a blood transfusion, and he died on the morning of March 14th. The autopsy gave the cause of death as dystrophic multiple organ failures.
Gregg Valentino had a dream of having the biggest arms in bodybuilding history. This guy was dedicated to this goal and literally only trained arms and left the rest of his muscle groups empty. Surprisingly, Gregg was 100% natural during this time. I'm joking. Gregg was most definitely abusing synthol, as steroids don't make your muscle look like that. Overall, Gregg didn't end up being the guy with the biggest arms, as his use of synthol, it wasn't pure solid muscle, so it didn't count as him being the guy with the biggest arms. But eventually, I guess Gregg's arms had gotten so big that one of his biceps exploded, forcing him to seek medical care.
I wound up getting an infection. And when I got the infection, it starts off, you get a bad fever, the area gets red, soft, pussy. It was like a giant zit in there. It was just loaded with pus. And if you don't do something about it, you can wind up in a hospital and kill yourself, you know what I mean? It could kill you.
Gregg knew he was in serious trouble, so he decided to operate on himself.
What you're watching is, I had a hematoma in my arm, and I'm draining the blood. Now look, here you got the needle, look, it's going right into the bicep. Now look, now it's hanging out of the bicep. And this film's like friggin' 15, 20 minutes of just constant pulling shit out. Look at that. I'm filling up whole syringes and I just keep going and going and going. Look, you can see the needle is starting to bend. Oh, man. I love it, though. It's fucked up. It almost looks like a murder scene. There's blood all over the floor. There's blood everywhere. It's really fucking gross. It just sinks in like a balloon filled with water. Look at the chunks of shit in there. It was fucked up.
Ronnie Coleman is the best bodybuilder and weightlifter of all time. But with that limit passing came with some serious consequences. Ronnie Coleman, the 8-time Mr. Olympia, would lift extremely heavy weights. Not light weights to him, but in reality those are dead heavy weights. He would lift those heavy weights in the early 2000s, setting up lifetime world records. Although Ronnie had the best genetics to pack on loads of muscle and lift heavy weights, this pressure to his body would later injure his body, leading to several surgeries in his spine. And I mean, man, look at Ronnie Coleman. He can barely walk, and I believe that he falls under the category of bodybuilders that took it too far, because I think he had more than 5 surgeries in his spine, and it's just a lot of complicated things that are going on around his body. And yeah, man, you can't just say that's just smooth operations or whatever like that. That's just tough.
How's your health? Well, Pablo, my health is pretty good these days. As you can see, I'm still working out 6 days a week. I'm still looking semi.
Romario dos Santos Alves is a Brazilian gym goer who decided not to work hard to gain muscle, not even to try to give himself 5 months to gain some pure solid muscle. So, he chose a somewhat easy way to do this, which was taking synthol.
Is this something that you've used?
I have used synthol. I used it, probably 12 years ago, and I didn't like it. It blurred my muscles. It made my muscle look weird, and it was incredibly painful. And it's very hard to train. You're almost guaranteed going to have to take some painkillers while you train because it's so painful. So the whole theory of synthol is you inject it in, it stretches the fascia tissue out, and therefore allows the muscle to grow at a faster rate. So that's the excuse of, I'm not cheating. I'm not using cosmetic enhancements. I'm doing this because it's going to make my muscles grow faster. But that's all false.
Romario feels pain throughout his day-to-day life activities, as synthols are quite painful, substance, and battles for mental health issues due to his disgustful looks he gets in public, as people think he's that henchman with the hunchback, like, hello master. Yeah, he thinks people seem like that, basically. Candis Armstrong is a female who wanted to be a bodybuilder. When she decided to finally take steroids, she experienced one of the most craziest side effects, completely changing her whole appearance from looking to a decent looking woman to a full grown man with crazy amounts of facial hair, and her breasts had completely diminished over the years of taking gear. Candis in an interview stated that she was completely fine with her current body and was very happy that she was in this new form that she was in. But she also stated that the steroid side effects have went so far to a point where her clitoris had gotten swollen and formed a shape of a penis due to her steroid use, and her clitoris reached an inch long, where she has to fold it up to put it back in place.
I didn't intend to become so masculine when she started to take these drugs. But now that it's happened, she said it's too late to go back. And she doesn't want to go back because she said that it's improved her life. If she was in a relationship, I wouldn't want to piss her off. I bet you there'd be like no arguments with her. Her side effects have been so severe that with all the facial hair and the extra hair that she has on her body, her clitoris has swelled up so much it has become a mini penis. Wait, what the heck is going on down there? She said it's about an inch long and you can roll back the foreskin. Oh my goodness.
Bertil Fox was a pro-England bodybuilder, mate, who competed in the Mr. Olympia 5 times, and I think he placed 5th once or something like that. But Bertil was a mass monster of size, making the majority of bodybuilders look small when competing next to them. Bertil would take loads of steroids at that time, and I'm not sure if he did take loads of steroids, or maybe that he wasn't as great of a responder to steroids. But one day his roid rage would go berserk. From having an argument with his wife, he shot her and shot her mother in some island which they were having a vacation on. But this was really mad that this roid rage went to a point where he killed his own wife and wife's mother. Bertil was sentenced to death by hanging, but God saved him, and his appeal saved his life and landed him life in prison, being 25 years. People argue that his sentence wasn't enough for to be killing 2 civilians, but either ways, Bertil Fox roams around the world today as he is free. So you guys better watch out, man. Blood can pop your ass, man. He still got that dog in him.
You got this hothead who has a thing against white people. He's pissed off that his girlfriend left him. What does he do?
It was about 10:16 a.m. on Tuesday the 3rd of September 1987. We received a call by the 911 emergency line that 2 persons had been shot on Kearn Street.
He goes and takes a gun, goes into the place where her and her mother owned. They were hemming clothing, doing design work. He walks in with the gun and shoots them both in cold blood. Then he goes to court and he tells the people, he goes, listen, they came, the mother, to his house when he wasn't there. They stole the gun. I went back to the place to try to get it back. There was a struggle and I shot them both by accident. What kind of fucking asshole shoots 2 people by accident? If it's 1 person, you could say maybe, right? But 2 people, it's not fucking happening. Anyway, in court, they actually sentenced him to be hanged to death. He appealed it, and then he ended up with life in prison. So now, fast forward now 25 years later, the English government pardons him. If you guys don't know what a pardon is, it's when somebody in power can take somebody out of prison, no matter what it is. If he's a pedophile, if he's a murderer, it doesn't matter. He can take him out of prison. And if you guys remember when Trump was done with his presidency, he had a list of people. And everyone wanted Joe Exotic to be on it and a bunch of other people. But he had like 15, 20 names of people he took out of prison. So I'm curious to see what's the reason the English government pardoned Bertil Fox. Because obviously, there's eyewitnesses there. There's a lot that goes on in that case. Obviously, he killed the 2 people.
At the trial, Bertil made a statement. He claimed that when he returned from England, his gun was missing from his home. Looking for an explanation, he went to find Leoka, who was in her mother's shop. He said her mother had the gun and had refused to give it back. A fight started, and the gun went off accidentally.
At first, I feel sorry for him, because I'm sure that he is sorry for what he did. But when I went to the courthouse and heard what he said, that it was an accident, it gets me more angry.
Bye, have a great time.